Hola, tudubim, konnichiwa, como estas? Hello, konnichiwa, aloha. What it do? Welcome to the J-Boy Sports Podcast, and we're continuing with our NBA playoffs round one series. But before we get into that, please like, share, and subscribe if you like the video. And if you don't love the video, do me a favor and like, share, and subscribe, or comment at the very least, because, you know, it's always good to have debates and fun conversations. And even if you don't love everything that you're listening to, you can still help a brother out. So feel free to be a good person and help a brother out, like I said. So thank you very much. And now that that's over with, let's move into tonight's games. The first game we're going to start with was the Orlando Magic versus the Boston Celtics, and Jason Tatum did not play, but no worries. The Celtics are that darn good that it really didn't matter. Now, the end of the game, the final score was 109-100, Boston taking the W. But I got to tell you, the Orlando Magic are a good young team. They're solid. They play great defense. They're just outmatched by just a superior juggernaut. I mean, the Celtics are definitely one of the best teams I've seen in a while. And I mean, this is consistently great. Like, they have dynasty written all over them. The only issue is that there's been another rise in some other teams. But most specifically, I think their biggest competition is going to be the Thunder. I think if the Thunder can make the finals, the Thunder versus the Celtics is going to be a crazy matchup. Those are, by far, in my opinion, the top tier two teams that are the most dangerous so far. Pablo Banchero balled out. He had 32 points, 7 assists, 9 rebounds. Franz Wagner had 25, so he chipped in. Neither one of them was really that good from three, and that's really why Orlando was losing also. Wagner was 1 for 7 from three. Banchero was 2 for 6. And so the only other person that really did anything was Wendell Carter, who had 16 and was pretty good from three. He was 3 for 3. And the other person was Anthony Black, who had 11, but also bad from 3, 0 for 2. And so really what this series is turning out to be is Orlando is a very good team. They're solid. They play great defense, but they can't shoot. And that's why they're losing. They picked up Caldwell Pope, who was supposed to be the three-point specialist. He had 3 points. He was 1 for 9 from the field and 1 for 2 from the free throw line. Excuse me, I didn't care about the free throws. What I meant to say is 0 for 6 from the three-point line. And so they're just not knocking down threes. Also, Banchero was 6 for 11 from the free throw line, because if he made 5 more of those, it would have been a closer game, potentially. But they're just not making anything from three. And they're playing the most dominant three-point shooting team that we've ever seen. I think the Celtics had 3 people make over 300 threes or something crazy like that. First-time statistic. All they do is shoot threes and make them. They're going to knock them down at some point. So this evening, obviously, without Jason Tatum, Brown went off. Brown had 36 points and was balling. I mean, he was hitting everything. He also had 10 rebounds and 5 dimes, but he was 5 for 7 from 3. Derek White has 17. He was 3 for 10. Holiday didn't make a lot of threes, but he was actually playing a really solid game, made some really big, tough plays that I was, very happy to see. Zingis was 0 for 5 from the three-point line, but he was actually 10 for 14 from the free throw line and 5 for 14 from the field. Had 20 points. If he would have made more of his free throws and hit down some of these threes, Zingis might have had himself a 30-point game. And that's short for Porzingis. Kristaps Porzingis. I just call him Zingis. When I used to go to the gym, there was a kid there that I wonder how he's doing now. I don't really go to that gym anymore. But he literally looked like Kristaps Porzingis. It was tall, probably about 6'6" or so. And so I used to call him Zingis. And Peyton Pritchard came off the bench. He was 3 for 6 from the 3, 5 for 11 from the field, 14 points. So again, the game was close, but obviously the Celtics hit more threes. And that's really the difference in how they be beating down on opponents. So that's always going to be something to look for in this series. Maybe Orlando will win one game, maybe, but it's going to have to be on a night where Boston's just not hitting anything, because the difference in threes is the difference in this series. The teams are actually fairly matched well, right? I mean, the Celtics have more talent than most other teams, but as far as abilities, the Orlando's very top heavy, and their top guys can match the talent of some of the Celtics, but They just don't make enough jumpers, enough three-pointers. So that's why they lost. It is what it is. Next game was Miami Heat versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, all in all, this was a smacking. But it was somewhat close because the Heat just played tough basketball, man. And Tyler Hero has ascended. He is on his way to potentially being a superstar. I don't know how much better he can get, but the boy is nice. He's taken a lot of shots and he's making them. He shot 14 for 24 from the field. He had 33 points. Now, they lost 121 to 112. But Hero is showing that he's elite. I have to say, he's an elite level player. Bam is just a failure. I just don't understand why people, the Heat are paying, I don't know how much they're paying Bam Adebayo, but I wouldn't pay him that much. I don't really think he's not even really all-star caliber in my opinion. He makes it because the East is weak. And there's nobody else playing power forward besides him and like Paolo Banchero. So he makes it. But ultimately, I've never been impressed by him. Now, he had 11, 9, and 14, but it's more of a Draymond-looking game. He's a little better than Draymond Green stat-wise, but ultimately he's inconsistent. He doesn't do the same thing every night, and he only took 9 shots. That's also, like, ridiculous. Davion Mitchell was 7 for 9 from the field, 2 for 4 from the three-point line. I like this kid, man, and I remember, I'm pretty sure he used to play on Sacramento, but he wasn't getting a lot of minutes like that playing behind Fox and Monk and those guys. But on this team for the Heat, he's balling. Now, I know you look at it and say 18 ain't that great, but, you know, he was efficient. He was shot 7 for 9 from the field. He made some tough shots, and his defense is immaculate. He's a little dude, but he gets into it on defense. He really gets into it. So, you know, the Heat did what they could, but ultimately they did a little push to try and get close. They got close, but then Donovan Mitchell closed it off. Don Mitch had 30, 10 for 21 from the field, 7 for 10 from the three. Boy was balling. And, you know, he pretty much closed that game out. Garland chipped in with 21 and 9 dimes. Evan Mobley had 20 points. Jared Allen had 9 and 8. So it was a close game at the end because they came back, but Don Mitch closed it out, and that was that. So I expect Cleveland to win this series easy. I expect them to sweep this. I'd be very surprised if the Heat won a game. And it's not because they don't play hard. They're just not as talented. That's really what it comes down to. They don't have the same level of talent. You know, DeAndre Hunter's coming off the bench scoring 12. Max Strus is putting in 14. There's just nobody on the Heat that can compete with that. Highsmith played all right off the bench, had 17. Jovic, he had 11. So, but they just can't compete with the talent of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Tyler Hero's balling, though. I got to give him credit. But again, Cavaliers 121 to 112 over Heat. The last game was good, but a little bit of, well, it wasn't really that good, to be honest with you. The Rockets kind of had the lead, and they were clearly going to win this game. Jimmy Buckets got hurt early in the game, tailbone bruise or pelvic bruise or whatever muscle that is, but he fell right on his gluteus maximus. Busted that joint wide open. Pause, no diddy. And he left the game and he did not come back. So they're hoping he can come back for the next game, which I believe for them might be on Saturday. So they have some time, which is good. But ultimately, you know, they just jumped Steph. That's what they did with no Jimmy Butler. Steph had 20 points, 9 dimes, 5 boards, but he also had 6 turnovers. And so, you know, that's what happens when there's nobody else to score. And you've been benching Kuminga, so he comes off. Kuminga has 11, but he's 4 for 12. Draymond Green is going to be triple single mongoose, wild hyena, Wolverine, crazy, you know, wild Catman out there. He's gonna give you 8 points, 5 boards, and 1 assist, and scream a lot. Had 5 turnovers. Just a wild mongoose of a man. Didn't really do anything, and that was it. I mean, nobody else really did anything, I think. But Brandon Podimps, dang it, I don't know how to say that man's last name, but he played for 14 minutes, was 0 for 5, and left because I think he wasn't feeling well or something like that. So he was out. And then, you know, nothing really happened. They don't really have anybody like that. When Golden State wins, it's just because they're playing perfect basketball. There's absolutely no area for error. Like error. Excuse me. They can't make a mistake or they're getting pulverized. And that's pretty much what happened in this game. And the Rockets came out on fire. The Rockets hit shots. That's really what it comes down to. Well, Jalen Green did. So Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks hit some shots. And that's ultimately why they won this game. But the Rockets struggle with the same thing that Orlando does. Great defense, nice young team, can't shoot. But it doesn't matter when Jimmy Butler goes out and you can just jump Steph all day. And so nobody made shots except Jalen Green, who made 8 in a career-high playoff score. So he had 38. He was balling. 8 for 18. He was balling. Brooks chipped in 16. Şengün has been an animal. 17, 7 dimes, 16 boards. Şengün is nice. He's definitely baby Joker. Definitely baby Joker. Not quite as good as Joker, but he's in the ballpark. He's not in the ballpark yet. He's a level behind. Maybe 2. That's how good Joker is. Tari Eason, excuse me. He came off the bench at 14. I like Tari Eason. I don't know why they're starting Fred VanVleet. He's not making anything. He's not a great passer. He had 2 assists. Why the heck are they starting Fred VanVleet? I would start Tari Eason. He's a better player to me. I just wouldn't. Tari Eason is the better option. I would even play Cam Whitmore at this point. I don't understand playing Fred VanVleet. He played 42 minutes, 2 for 8 from the field, 1 for 7 from 3. They picked him up to be a shooter. A shooter that can't shoot, I'm benching him. So, but hey, Ime knows what he's doing. He's a great coach. I guess he wants to play him. I would bench him. So, Jalen Green balled out, but again, the thing with Jalen Green to me is the inconsistency. 38 points this game, has 7 in the first game. His shot taking is bad. I just don't like his shot attempts. I don't think he has any go-to moves. He's it either goes in or it doesn't, but it's the same bad shots. That's why he's inconsistent. He doesn't really get a lot of easy baskets. So, we'll see what Jalen Green does. They're going to need all of his scoring in order to be competitive. But ultimately, Jimmy Butler out. This one was a toss-up to the Rockets, pretty much. And we'll see if he plays on Saturday and see if the Golden State Warriors can get this thing back on track. But that was it. And so, if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. If you didn't like the video, once again, thanks for listening. And also, help a brother out. You can still comment and like, share, and subscribe anyway. If you just want to help a brother out, that'd be great. But I appreciate you guys. I'm very humble. Please don't click off immediately because there's some suggested videos that I know that you'll love. So please like, share, and subscribe. Very humble. Much love. That somehow you never get